Living and learning in a completely foreign country can be scary and confusing. Today, we are here to make this long process just a little bit easier. This video is the ultimate guide to cooking in the USA as a college student. I am sure that being an academically focused student, you will want to bring the most inexpensive and efficient objects to use during your time in the US. Let's start with one of the most important appliances in the kitchen, the stove. There are many different types of cooking stoves in the US, but the most important thing to remember is that no matter what stove you have, you will need flat-bottomed pots and pans. American stoves are not designed for vessels with curved bottoms, and your food will not cook properly if you use these types of vessels. As a student, you are most likely going to live in an apartment. The stoves most commonly found in apartments are the electric stoves, so we will cover those first. How do you know if your apartment has an electric stove? All electric stoves have these spiral coils. As you can see in the picture, this stove has 4 different spots where you can cook. Now, here's another picture of an electric stove. Notice how the coils have turned a bright orange color. This will happen when the stove has heated up to its maximum capacity. For an electric stove, you will need a thick-bottomed pan, because if your pot is too thin, the food at the very bottom of the pot will burn, while the food at the top will remain uncooked. Another type of stove is the gas stove. Once again, this stove should have around 4 places to cook on, like in this picture. To repeat what I said earlier, the stove will need a flat-bottomed pot. Here you can see how a flat-bottomed pot will sit on the stove. It is different from the Indian gas stove because the distance between the flame and the pot is greater than for an Indian gas stove. Other types of stoves include ceramic top and induction stoves. However, these most likely will not be found in a student apartment. If you do have one of these stoves, they will need the same types of pots and pans we discussed earlier. Each stove will come with a big oven right underneath it. You can bake food in the oven if you have special oven-safe dishes which may have a symbol like this. In this picture, you can see that this cake has finished baking in the oven, and you will need oven mitts such as this person is using to remove the extremely hot baking dish. Now we know all about different kinds of stoves and the oven, but what kind of vessels do we use for them? This is a picture of a stainless steel set which you may use for cooking. It includes 2 skillets, 3 saucepans, 1 colander, 1 big pot, and 1 flat skillet with a glass lid. What do all these names mean? In America, saucepans are used to make different sauces or gravies. However, in Indian cooking, we can use them to make dals, sambar, rasam, and soup. Anything that requires a lot of water and boiling will cook well in a saucepan. Skillets, on the other hand, are used to stir-fry vegetables. You can buy a standalone skillet without buying the whole set. If you're interested in using cast iron skillets, here are some examples which can be found at your local Walmart. Some people prefer to make chapatis and dosas on this type of cast iron griddle. You can buy sets of non-stick cookware as well. If you're buying from India, try to buy flat-bottomed pots and pans as in the picture. This kadai from India is a good example of what can be used for cooking on an American stove. If you decide to cook with a thin copper-bottomed vessel like in this picture, be careful when cooking on an electric stove since copper heats up really quickly and can cause your food to burn. One item to definitely bring over to the US from India is the pressure cooker because it is very useful over here and is also compatible with the stove. Now that you've watched this video, I hope you know exactly which pots and pans to buy for your stove and how to make sure your meal is as delicious as you planned it to be. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment below, and also make sure to hit that like and subscribe button.